Hey, so I'm just gonna show here how I'm able to use SoundFlow with some Finder commands, and I'll show you here. So the first one I'm gonna show you is copy file to Google Drive. So basically, let's say, let me just open up my Google Drive as well. So here, as you can see, this is like my hard disk, music folder, Cubase, and then the project title, and then the bounce folder. And on my Google Drive, it's my hard drive. The Google Drive is on the root of the hard drive. Then I call it one project, and then the project folder, and then sound. So if I click the copy button here, you can see that it copies it in the background to that folder. And if I take this one and I say move, you can see that it moves it over. Let's just look at the script. So basically what happens here, the script goes from the stars down to the next stars. First it copies the path, then it takes the clipboard, like the path that were copied, and put it into this variable, and then it finds the or it substitutes every space with these two backslashes, because that's how the command line sees spaces. And then you can see here, like the session that I'm working in, so in this case Morris, it has the same name there and there. So you can count, well, this is an example, it's the same name. So it's the fifth of these. I'm splitting the string here for every slash, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So after the fifth slash is the name of my project. That's just how I've set it up. I'm sure there's a more fancy way to code it, but this works really well. So if you have more subfolders or something, you would have to change that number to find that session, the folder name of your session. And then here is the actual action. So if it's a WAV file, like here, then it will, SoundFlow will run the command line, which is a terminal line, CP for copy, and then the session directory, which was the copied path, and then it copies it to volume, hard drive, Google Drive, one project folder, then the folder name, which was what I found here, and then subfolder sound. So basically this destination. And if it would be a zip file, it would also put it in the sound folder, because I add a lot of sound files and sometimes I zip them. And if it would be a MOV file or MP4 file, it would do it to the video. So yeah, well, there's no video in this project yet, so let's just skip that, but that's self-explanatory. And the only difference from this one, from the copy and the MOV file, is this MV instead of CP, so MV for move. And then let's go to the next one, compress selected files. And this only works if your system is in English. So you can see I have this one zip. When I press that one, it zips the files beautifully. And another one is move selected files into a new folder. That's this one. Then it has it in a new folder, and I can call that Morris, and then I could zip that, which is also nice. Then you can also open specific folder paths. For instance, here I want to open my volume HD Cubase, music Cubase. So it's, let's see, where is that? Actually, I don't have a shortcut on it here, but basically download is using that. Oh, it opened in a wrong window. So, and actually all the ones over on this Stream Deck are basically just shortcuts to folders when I'm in the Finder, when I have Finder in front. And you can find them, let me show you. If I wanted the path of this file, I could drag it into the terminal, and then you can see this is the full path. So if I wanted the path of this bounce folder, I could pull it in, and you can see this is the path. So that's a way for you to figure out, especially up here, what these paths, like what it should say. And you can also see here that spaces, I've added 2 of the backslashes, like I did when I was copying the file. For this here, I put it in permanently. All right, and one last one. I haven't tried this in Pro Tools, but a really cool thing, and I actually used this function in the beginning, is that so SoundFlow is able to read the document that is loaded here. I can show you in the inspector, UI inspector. If I'm up here, you can see, if I lock this one, you can see here the file that is open has this path, which is very cool. So whenever I'm working in a project, this bounce button, it will open the bounce folder of that project, and the video will open the video folder of that project. And how it does it, and if I have no project open, it will just give me a log saying that there's no Cubase project open, and it will just open the general Cubase folder. And how it does it is that it finds this, like this command finds that path I showed you before in the inspector window, and then it finds the directory of the file open in Cubase, and it splits it up, and then it ends up opening, like the command I showed you before, the directory and the folder name. And at this point, the folder name is one bounce, which is the bounce folder. And then I've added like half a second of delay. And then after that, it changed the view. So in Finder, you can change the view between different things, like here. And I like it to be this view. So when I usually have like date modified as the latest one. So you can see that would be, no, actually not date modified. I usually use last added, date added, like here. So these are the last one added. So let's say I've just exported a file. I'm here in my program. I've just exported a file. When I click this one, it opens up and it selects the first file, and then I can say move a copy to my drive, and now it's already on my drive. So really fast way to use SoundFlow outside of your music program. Hope you find this helpful and can use some of the scripting.